Ho ho buddies from Borderland Games, I'm Gareth and today we're playing Beyond R. We've just finished the second council for the second time, I think. We're looking at a little chapter called Possibilities now. And I think we had the idea to deal with rule number 2 first. And to some people that's interpreting it as kill number 2. And some people are interpreting it as find out who it is and see if they can help us. I think that's accurate. Anyway, let's start here. What was his name? He never used it for all the time he'd been with him, referring to him as a big brother. He was sure that they had introduced themselves when they first met. That he had, no doubt, heard it from other people. But that identity had disappeared from his memories. There he is. Say, what do you want to do? Dunno. Play something? The boy laughed a bit at his answer. No, didn't mean right now. What would you like to do in the future? The future? He never thought about it. Was there a future? He didn't think about the future as something that awaited him tomorrow or in a week, but as a faraway concept. A time he couldn't possibly imagine in his young mind. Though he did know, better than most kids his age, that the present didn't last forever. As time goes on, everything changes, reaching completely different futures. The reason he knew that with so much certainty was the same as why he was there with that person. And it was precisely because he knew that he couldn't imagine that future. And it was precisely because he knew that he couldn't imagine that future. Because that future could be practically anything. Something he could not predict. And among those infinite possibilities, there was the possibility that such a future simply did not exist. That was something else he knew well for his age. Death. Limit. Loading. After the council, everyone went together to the counter to get their antidotes, same as before. They started to feel the effects of the poison on the way there. Thankfully, unlike the previous hour, vodka endured and there were no incidents. Okay, so can we skip here? Skip on red. We don't want it to skip on red. Okay, we can't skip here. Okay. Even though they'd been physically spared, the council did leave some mental wounds. Bill felt even more distant than the others than before. It wasn't that they didn't understand his arguments, but simply that they decided his ideal solution was impossible. Number 2 was the only hope he could see. He needed its help, or to do it himself. Once he was done with his drink, he entered the data menu and opened the third one. Attempted suicide 1 and 9. An unavoidable shiver ran through him. That data went much farther than he'd ever anticipated they would go. The amount of numbers was also unexpected. Only 2. That made it a powerful data to discover those rules. Moreover, they weren't numbers he could disregard. There was a macabre irony in that one data being tied to the number that could kill others directly and the number it could link with. I think we've established that, Bill is 6. The ban to the accusers includes abstaining as a way to add their vote to the majority. If it accuses the player, they can't vote. If abstaining results in an incorrect accusation, the player won't be banned. In an accusal, the person with the accused number will have to abstain from voting, I see. If a majority is reached but the chosen person is incorrect, those who voted for that person will be able to vote for them again. Okay, so I can break this rule maybe. I think that's what we've established. A dangerous pair he had to be wary of. What was? That's right. But his goal wasn't to reveal anyone's number, aside from his own. And unfortunately, those two were already discarded. He had sworn to go out to the bar and seek salvation, if after 2 hours the situation hadn't improved, but the big uncertainty is in his number held him back. If he could confirm he was Rule 2, he'd obtain one hope, the ability to survive outside for more than 1 hour. It wasn't so simple, however. If the others realised his absence, they could vote him and kill him. Either way, to consider those hypotheticals was, in truth, a waste of time. Deep down, he knew. Even if he had another rule, his own option was to go out. Despite that, he decided to wait 1 more hour as planned. Not only because of the likelihood of figuring out his number, but also the worries he held for the group. The situation had been on the brink of collapse from the start, walking on the edge of a cliff where any mistake could result in a fall. But now it felt like a hurricane would throw them off. Better half, find the other player with his objective unfulfilled. He closed the data menu and opened objectives. Better half, find the other player with this objective unfulfilled. Oh, okay. As expected, a new objective awaited him, one that would require him to talk to the others in order to find the other person with the same objective, without revealing his own. While challenging, it could work as an excuse to interact with everyone. It was a much harder task in the middle of a council, but doing so face-to-face gave him a chance to gain some allies. Or best case scenario, find number 2. But the first priority was clearing his objective, therefore he needed some tactic to hint it to others in a way that the other half would understand it and reveal themselves. In the same way, he needed to pay attention to what the others said, to pick up on signals from the other person. Maybe I can mention something about love? The objective did have the image of a couple searching for one another. Did it? Where? I believe it. It was simple and straightforward. It could potentially work. Though that subject really wasn't his forte, and could go in directions he'd rather avoid. He put his barman away, and turned towards the remaining players there. Oh, my favourites. All my favourites. Hi, Darts. As expected, Cocktail was working behind the counter, sitting in front with Darts, lime, and vodka. Darts was focused on his barman while the rest were chatting. Hey, compadre. Come over here. Noticing his gaze, Lime turned towards him and called. Without a word, he got up and sat on the empty seat next to Vodka. Anything to drink? No, I'm good. Here he is. My favourite Billy. But I'm the only Bill here. Exactement. Ha ha ha! Good one. Has Vodka not got any teeth? At least Gramps gets me, but still, I like you, B. What a curious mindset you have, young lad. Honestly not sure what to say. In my humble opinion, I believe they're messing with you. I can see that, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. Come on, open up a bit. How about telling us something about yourself? I'm curious. Curious. That's how you talk like a French person, isn't it? I'm not sure that's a good idea. Personal information is a weapon in this game. No. I don't care about the game. It's just good old gossip. How frank of you. But my life is really not that interesting. I go through the same routine every day. Work a lot, go back home, and that's about it. That's just sad. What a life. It's nothing special, but I'm fine with that. It's actually what I wanted. Huh? It might sound weird, but that routine calms me down. I like that stability. That's why I can't stand this game, this sadistic entertainment where we've ended up. Choose that. But not gonna lie, if they got rid of the lethal part, that'd actually be pretty fun. My body is not ready for this stuff anymore. But truth be told, I prefer a dramatic death over falling dead while doing fuck all one day. Are your grandpas like this? Are your grandpas like this? No idea. Probably. I need to get out of here. I don't need any more drama. But drama is sugar of life. You just need to have some moderation so it doesn't kill you. She's French. You're missing out on some fine treats, young man. Yeah, but actually, I'm more of a lemon person, if you'll catch my drift. Oh, now my name makes sense. I only just got that. Seriously, I don't get it, but I'm afraid to ask. But seriously, nothing interesting ever. Like, aside from this. Interesting wouldn't be the word I'd use to describe this mess. Well, whatevs. Come on, give us something. I don't want to, but even if it's just gossip, her insistence could mean her objective is investigator. Maybe I should... You never know. Well, actually, there is one thing. When I was little, I almost died. Nanny? Not what I was expecting. I'd say. Are you referring to some birth issue? No, I was already a few years old. An accident, but I survived. You don't say. Right. This might be rude of me to ask, but could that scar on your cheek be a result of that accident? Oh yeah, it got my attention the first time I saw it. Didn't imagine it would be that bad though. No, this came later, from a little quarrel I was involved in, basically. Honestly, it's because wrong voice. Honestly, it's because I was still so small back then that I managed to avoid any injuries. After all, the scars it would have left me otherwise would be way bigger than this one. All things considered, I was pretty lucky. Lucky indeed. But it seems like that luck has run out. Though, well, let's hope it didn't. Ignore the oldie. Survive once and you'll survive twice. What happens once will happen again. So said the wise old man of the East. Who? Are you gonna say no to the wise old man of the East? No? Then there you go. Cocktail, give me another one. To his surprise, they didn't ask for more details. He'd only talked about it with a few people, and last time was years ago. It's not that he remembered it clearly, but while his memories were vague, that instant had shaped the rest of his life, and he could still feel it even more than ever in that moment. That fear of death, that rejection of death, not only his own, but of others as well. With no desire to drink, he got up. I think I'll go take a walk. Have fun! Take care. Arrivederci. I'm Frange. Is she drunk already? Trying to get his past out of his head, he focused on his top priority, his objective. He had to find his better half. He could have tried to find out if it was one of the 4 people at the counter, but it was necessary to talk in private to confirm it without getting discovered. Therefore, it was best to find people that were alone. He could see several of them from afar. It was time to go. Who should I talk to? Piano? Let's go left to right. He found Piano sitting on the sofa next to the fish tank, looking at his barman, which he turned off when he heard him approaching. Excuse me, can I ask you something? What is it? He sounded annoyed, but not more than usual. It seemed to be more addressed at the situation than any one person specifically. He understood his frustration, of course, but at the same time there was something weird about it. While not related to his objective, he couldn't help but bring it up. Before that, there's something I'm curious about. What? Aren't you worried? Huh? That question did seem to have touched a nerve. Bill immediately asked himself if that talk had been a good idea. What do you mean? The game. I get the feeling that even though you hate being here, it's not bothering you that much. Of course not. I'm no coward. I'm not dying so soon. I don't think worrying in a situation like this one would make you a coward, especially at your age. Wanna fight? What? No. Then shut your mouth. I'm not saying you should be scared either, but being too confident can be bad too. What are you? My mum. I'll survive this, be it by winning or escaping. Against such an aggressive position, pressing was pointless, but now he had more questions than before. Fine, forget it. Good. And the question? Oh, right, this might sound weird, but are you looking for someone? What? Nothing, forget it. Wait, stop, explain yourself. It's simple. Are you, right now, looking for someone? I'd like to find the poohead that put us here. Is that a good answer? Yeah. That would be nice. It didn't seem to be him. One less candidate. What are you planning? That question was way too suspicious. He won't stop asking until he gets an answer he likes, will he? Maybe that wasn't the best way to ask. Nothing, I swear. He didn't say that the best way. What does that mean? You wanted to say some other thing? No, though it did sound more suspicious than I expected. Then you admit it sounds suspicious? Well, yeah, but I'm not planning anything, and I know nothing. Easy to say. And for starters, what would I even be plotting? I don't know. That's why I ask. You say you want to save us all. And that's already really suspicious. How? I don't get it. Isn't that what you should all want too? Yeah, sure. That'd be great. No way it's happening though. So if you keep saying it, either you're stupid or want to trick us. It can't mean anything else. Faced with that, he could only sigh. That was a big problem. How people often tend more towards what they believe is more rational than what they actually want. The distrust born from fear which leads to the famous prisoner's dilemma. Bill was by no means an expert on those subjects, but felt the frustration they produced nonetheless. Even the youngest one there, who should have been the most innocent of the group, was distrustful. In fact, he appeared to be among the most distrustful. For a moment he wondered if it could be a generational difference. He wasn't vodka though. Their age gap was most likely only about 10 years. 10 years may not seem like much, but it made a clear difference. Not sure that's a good way to trick anyone. If you want to think I'm too naive, I can't stop you, but I can try all I can to prove you wrong. Whatever you say. Surprisingly, that response appeared to work. Or at least Piano didn't seem to know how to answer. You're too distrustful for your age. My age has nothing to do with it. Actually, how old are you? That's secret. It could be data. I doubt it. Data about your age would be too obvious. Shut up! If you got no more questions, go away! That sudden change felt strange. Bill couldn't help but laugh a little. He really tries to act mature, but he's still just a kid. Put in that game and surrounded by adults, it wasn't too surprising. It was a way to protect himself after all. He was the easiest target alongside Vodka. But while Vodka didn't treat death seriously, Piano clearly wanted to live more than anyone. His yet short life gave him an even bigger right to survive. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Know this, I won't get my eyes off you, or anyone else. Go ahead. I've nothing to hide apart from my number. Not even that, in truth. Not until he figured it out. Though he did have to hide his objective. It still wasn't cleared, so he resumed his search, heading somewhere else. He had to keep looking for people that could share his objective. Okay, I guess we're going to go with you. Poker. Going through the central area of the bar, Bill caught a glimpse of someone in an unexpected location. Ooh, the exit to the Golden Jack. He got closer and indeed someone was there, leaning on the wall. Wasn't expecting to find anybody here. Ah, got me. Wasn't expecting to be found here either. That situation was sort of strange. What was he doing there alone? No doubt suspicious, though he didn't look particularly nervous or surprised to have been caught. His face showed the same sneering smirk that he often had when there wasn't anything annoying or serious happening. He couldn't help but feel slightly uncomfortable, looking at that smile, bewildered, unable to comprehend how much a seeming sigh of satisfaction could exist in the middle of that game. He wasn't the only one there able to keep a smile. Lime was the most extreme case, really. Still, the girl's smile was different from that man's, more innocent. Cocktail was another case, a cordial and kind smile that showed his professionalism. Vodka, meanwhile, had one of disregard for his own life and everything happening in it. His, on the other hand, hid something. Evil. No. Not exactly. Considering the comments he'd made previously, it was most likely... Is he enjoying the game? His attitude during council seemed to indicate that he was taking things seriously. Unlike a lot of the players, it was more than a game to him, and that smirk made Bill's worst fears surface. It was similar to darts. He was more suspicious, no denying that. Yet thanks to their interactions, Bill had the feeling that he wasn't planning on doing anything for the time being. He wouldn't dare to claim he knew what he was hiding in his head. Darts was still a mystery. And yet, he had somehow gotten more familiar with him than with poker. What's he doing here? He could only think of one reason why anyone would be near the door. Are you... No, I shouldn't say it. Don't leave me hanging now, kid. And what? No, it's nothing. Wait, you think I'm... Got it. No, you've got it wrong. Don't jump to conclusions so damn fast. I was searching around, that's all. Searching? He was standing still doing nothing when I saw him. But if he's telling the truth, maybe he has the find a clue objective. In that case, I better not say anything else. Well, truth be told, I also wanted to see the outside again. No crossing, of course. Not like it's the outside that I really want to see. It's just a hallway to the unknown. It should lead outside. It's the only exit. Not so sure on that one, kid. Might be another exit we don't know about. Like in the kitchen or something. In the kitchen? I doubt it, but we can't really check, thanks to the core rules, and we can't do anything about those. Exactly, and that's how they can get us easily. A big fake exit sign hiding the real one. Someone capable of putting this up would totally do that. He hadn't thought about it, but with that logic it was a possibility. One he didn't like at all. I prefer not to think about that. This door is our only hope to escape. If we get the help at number 2. And there's the problem. We're fucked, basically. That's what my pessimism. That's what my pessimism says. But I wouldn't mind being an optimist like you, if I could. I don't think I would consider myself an optimist, to be honest. Considering what you've been saying since we woke up, it's impossible to not think you are. Or are you blind? It's not really optimism, I think. More like I'm too stubborn. I realise that what I want isn't easy, but I try anyways. Calling it not easy is almost laughable. That's clearly optimism. The sooner you acknowledge it, the better. Trust me. I know what it's like to get your hopes up and have them be shattered. What do you mean? Nothing. Personal shit. You're better off not hearing about my life. Not worth it. Let's just say it hasn't been too successful so far, and all this is the cherry on the top I didn't need. Yes, well, in that sense I can empathise a bit. I also had a bit of a strange life, although much shorter than yours. You calling me old? No, but you're clearly older than me. Well, yeah, no shit. Still isn't something nice to hear. Sorry. No, that's reality. No point in apologising for that. There's something I need to make clear, though. My life hasn't been a bit strange. In fact, it's the opposite. A pretty normal life. Miserably normal, even. Nothing extraordinary about it. If, at the very least, I had a lot of anecdotes to tell, that'd be something, but no. So I doubt you could sympathise with my problems. No need to feel bad for me. That'd be even more pathetic. I guess. Listen, the lives we've had outside don't matter right now. They don't fucking matter, understand? Right now, we're all equally fucked. Hard. So much so I don't know how we're still alive. Yeah, I guess. Need to stop guessing so damn much. I get... What I'm trying to say is that even if my gut tells me that most of us are finished, I love to believe in what you're saying. I need something solid, something real I can believe in. So far you've only talked about what ifs. Nothing that helps me. Nothing that helps me think we have any chance of escaping this shitfest. But I shouldn't rely on someone who's probably 20 years younger than me. Now that would be sad. That's why I won't put that big responsibility on you. I'll search on my own for anything to hold on to. That's why I came here, next to the door that could either lead us to heaven or right down to hell. That said, whoa, you just flashed. After 2 hours here, I'm starting to not care about whatever it is. I just want to get out. If only I could. I see. Poker venting out of nowhere caught him off guard. But he seemed to need it. Are you okay? Why are you asking? You seemed a bit tense. A bit. A damn big bit. I thought talking about it would make me feel better, but to be honest, nothing has changed. So I feel the same. Trapped in this fucking cage. Understandable. If you don't mind, I have something to ask. After hearing my rant, that's fair. What is it? I don't think it's him, based on what he said. Still, better to make sure. It's kind of a strange question, but if you were searching here alone, you aren't looking for anybody, right? Looking for someone? For what? For something. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I see. I get it. No, not this hour. Did he figure out my objective? Yes, he did. Good luck with that. Thanks. Well, he didn't say it out loud, so I didn't break the rule. Looking at it that way, it wasn't as harsh a rule as it appeared. As long as the rest didn't intend on killing, there was no need to hide it. And in fact, the first rule made them incapable of murder, so it was quite safe. Was that all? Yeah, I'll leave you with your stuff. What's with that tone? Wasn't doing anything weird here. Really not sure what he's doing here. Probably searching for a clue for his objective, or who knows. In his head, he kept thinking on another possibility. There was a player with a good reason to get close to the exit, but the other theory was more likely. He turned around ready to leave, but after taking a step, he stopped. The uneasiness he had tried to put aside wouldn't go away until he treated it directly. With a trembling voice, he threw one last question. Poker. Excuse me if this question bothers you, but... are you enjoying this game? I despise this game. As a fan of a good challenge, of a good game, this one is an insult. The only one who should get to decide if I put my life on the line is me, and no one else. I see. He had to resume the search. Ooh. Coffee? I guess maybe it's gonna be cigar. Am I gonna run out of time? Sitting on one of the tables was Coffee, alone as usual. It didn't look like she was doing anything. From afar it seemed like she was sleeping, but her eyes were open, staring at the floor, somewhat worried. Bill approached slowly. Are you okay? Her eyes moved towards him, while barely moving her head. Their gazes crossed in a silence that lasted for a few seconds, until Coffee looked down again with a short response. I'm thinking. Thinking? Yes. True, there's a lot of things to think about right now. I can't think clearly if you're talking. Sorry, didn't want to bother you, just... No, wait. If I concentrate hard enough, I can think even if you talk. Good. Does that mean you're gonna ignore me? It was a joke. Pretty good joke. Really? Yes. Her totally flat voice made it impossible to know if it was sarcasm or not. Why was dealing with that girl so hard? If she was his better half, clearing his objective was going to be impossible. Can I sit? Yes. Still, it was worth a try. At least until he could make sure she wasn't the person he was looking for. Although the seeming lack of a hurry she was showing already made him think it wasn't the case. He sat opposite to her. Coffee had barely moved, as if she was frozen in time. I came to talk about a couple of things. He wasn't really sure if she was paying attention, but if there was something he'd learned from their interactions, it was that expecting a response or pressing her wasn't the best strategy. I need help. No, need help with something? What were you thinking about? Need help with something? Hello? Hello. Bill had hoped to get some sort of sign if she was the other half, but maybe he'd been too vague. Like, there's not much I can do, but if you need something, perhaps I can help. Nothing then. No. Fine. Could he take that as a yes? He wasn't quite sure, but probably yes. Was there anything else he could say? Okay. Do you hate me? Do you hate me? Maybe I'm being too blunt, but I get the impression that that's why you avoid me. I'm not avoiding you. Like, maybe not now, but I'm talking about all the times you've been quiet. Like that's what I'm talking about. Did I say something that hurt you? Aside from this right now, perhaps. No. Then... But you are a bit annoying. That hurt. Quite a lot, in fact. Even more so with that dry and direct tone of hers. But you don't seem to be a bad person. Annoying, sure, but not bad. I'm sorry. I don't treat anybody differently here, though. Now that you mention it, I guess you are like that with everyone. Sort of. We're strangers, so it sort of makes sense, but it's still somewhat perplexing. We all need to talk more to survive. Don't you think? She doesn't think. When progress seemed to be being made, he crashed into a wall once again. At least now he knew she had nothing against him. Well, mostly nothing. Time to hurry to another topic. What were you thinking about? What were you thinking about? That's 3. Huh? 3 what? You said a couple of things, and that's 3. I guess I said that, though I didn't mean I only had 2 questions. Then... It wasn't literal, but if you want to, you can ask me something in exchange. Can you be quiet? Oh, am I bothering too much? You said I could sit, so I thought you didn't mind talking for a bit. I only said you could sit, not that you could talk. I guess. Not like you had to ask me. This table isn't mine. I can't forbid you from sitting on it. He thought he'd begun to understand her, but again, the doubts returned. It was already quite clear that she wasn't the one he was looking for, so he shouldn't waste more of his and her time. I'll leave you alone in that case. I have things to do too. He got up and started to leave slowly, waiting for an answer. it didn't seem like it would happen until... You forgot your barman. Oh, wow, don't leave that anywhere. Huh? He turned around, and indeed he'd left his barman on the table. Ah. He grabbed it and put it away. Luckily the screen had turned off. If Coffee had seen it by accident, she'd have broken one of the core rules. However, while the rule forbid them from looking, she could still have remained silent, and yet she decided to help him. Thanks. And with that, he left. He had to keep looking for people who could have his same objective. Okay, well, Cigar, looks like it's you. Boom. He found Cigar by herself at the glass panel area, smoking. She doesn't seem to be in high spirits. Makes sense. I feel bad about bothering her, but I need to make sure whether she is or isn't the other half. Bill sensed a distinct empathy for that woman. He couldn't bear the idea of anyone there dying, but he felt especially worried for her. She seemed to be the one suffering the most from it all, having already lost her composure in more than one occasion. As some seemed to almost enjoy the game, it comforted him to have someone acting normal. Moreover, even though he knew nothing about her life, he was pretty sure she had a family that could cry her loss, that would cry her loss. And was also capable of it. Of course, that didn't apply only to her. Most of them likely had families, but Cigar was one of the oldest, so she probably had children. A mother. Someone irreplaceable. She had to survive no matter what, but that wouldn't be enough for him. All of us have a life to go back to. Doesn't matter how good or bad they are. We can't allow this to take them away. We will all escape. I doubt it. We will all escape. Excuse me. Oh, billiards. Am I intruding? No, I wasn't doing much. Just trying to get my mind off all of this for a moment. That's understandable. I'd like to do it too, but I don't think I can. And even if I could, I can't allow myself to. Same here. This really is the last time I needed in my life. Or the last thing I needed in my life. She put out the cigarette on the nearby ashtray, and with her hand invited Bill to sit in front. There she is. By the way you talk about it, it sounds like your life isn't going too well. Was she 1 or 9? Well, clearly it's worse now than how it was yesterday. There's lots of things to complain about, but I'd still prefer it to having to fear for my life. Of course. If I get out of here, I'm immediately asked for a vacation. I need a break. A lot of work. If there's one good thing about all of this, it's not being on the job. Not like this is better, though, and really I can't afford a vacation anyways. When the culprit gets sued to hell, if the police finds him, that is, maybe the reparations I get will change that. That's the only way I can see this positively. I'd be happy with getting out alive, but I hope there can be justice, of course. Problem is, we can also end up in jail if we play this mad game to live. If we play this mad game to live. To live. That's what I've been saying from the start. We can't be playing this. Sure, but then what do we do? Die. But the woman raised her hand, stopping him. I know. No need to go through this again. We already had this discussion with everyone, yet we can't help coming back to it. Sorry. Don't worry. Honestly, I know I can't kill anyone. but I'll do what I can to survive. I wonder if inaction would still be considered a crime. Pretty sure it would be. You mean letting others die? Yes, if others do the killing and just profit from it. I don't know. If I knew someone was going to kill and I could stop it, not doing it would be abetting it. It wouldn't make me guilty, but that's the ethical way of interpreting it, under normal circumstances, but here saving another can equal sacrificing yourself. That's the problem. I don't want to sacrifice my life, but I also don't want to sacrifice the lives of others. That's why my only option is to save everyone. I know. Still ended up talking about this after all. Yeah. Again, this twisted almost seems like it could only be some divine trial to judge us. Although I'm not particularly religious, I'd rather not think I'm not dead and that this is not some type of limbo, even if it would all make more sense if that was the case. I'm not sure if that'd be better or worse. Worse. It would mean we're already dead. Right, I feel pretty alive though. If only it was a nightmare. But it's going on for too long, and to think that the exit is right there, and we could just go out if we had the guts to escape. But the threat of poison is enough to lock us in. It could be a lie and it wouldn't change a thing. This whole thing has given me an aneurysm. Would you feel better if I brought you tea or something like that? Instead of answering, Cigar took out another cigarette and resumed her activity. They remained silent for a few seconds, in which she lit it and had her smoke, while Bill focused and remembered the reason he was there. On another topic, is there something I can help you with? He hoped that would be enough to, if she was the other better half, make her understand. Not tea, but coffee would be good. I don't think coffee will help you calm down. Are you sure? Well, if you want I can go get one. No. Don't worry. I can go. You're not my butler, though it'd be nice to have one. I'm gonna slide off the screen. And with that, she stood up and left for the counter. Cigarette still in hand. Should I take that as a confirmation it's not her, or did she simply not understand what I meant? With no reason to stay there alone, he also took off for the counter. Whee! The art's already left, but lime and vodka were still there. And of course, Cocktail, who seemed tied down to that place. Dude, you're so fantastic. If you say so. I get that alcohol is a good way to forget all this, but that doesn't mean that doesn't make it a good idea, Missy. Shush, Flasenkunde. What? What did you just call me? Does anyone here know German? Is that an insult? Should I feel insulted? And I guess we're going to find out next time whether Cigar should feel insulted by this, or salted. Next one, Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Beyond Rule Ripper, and I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.